this video, we will dive into the movie Wednesday Season 2. We will discuss the storyline, summarize the plot, highlight the cast and characters. Additionally, we will cover the show's production details and box office performance. Finally, we will provide reviews and share our personal reaction. So, let's get started. After becoming Netflix's most popular series ever, Season 2 of Wednesday is finally making its way back to the platform this week. Here's everything you need to know about the spooky new installment, including release schedule, cast, plot, and more. It has been almost 3 years since the first season of Wednesday was released on Netflix. The series reintroduced audiences to Wednesday Addams, a character originally created by Charles Addams for the Addams Family franchise. The first season spent 20 weeks on the global top 10 chart and reached the top 10 in 93 countries, with 521 million views according to Netflix. Showrunners Alfred Gough and Miles Miller returned for Season 2, along with executive producer and director Tim Burton. This season, Wednesday's journey becomes darker and more complex as she navigates friendships, new mysteries, and old enemies, pulling her into another eerie adventure at Nevermore Academy. The Addams family, including Morticia, Gomez, and Pugsley, will also have exciting roles in Season 2. New characters are introduced as well. Jonah Lumley joins as Grandma Hester, Haley Joel Osment as a Kansas City scalper, and Grammy-winning superstar Lady Gaga will play a legendary new Nevermore teacher. In Season 1, Wednesday uncovered that Tyler Galpin was the Hyde monster terrorizing Nevermore. She also discovered that Laurel Gates, a descendant of Joseph Crackstone, was controlling Tyler to eliminate all outcasts from the town of Jericho. Laurel tried to resurrect Crackstone using Tyler's powers, but Wednesday, with the help of her ancestor Goody Addams, defeated them just in time. Together with her Nevermore classmates, she managed to stop Laurel and Crackstone's return. The first season ended with Wednesday having a stalker, Tyler arrested by authorities, and Nevermore Academy damaged in a fire. Season 2 picks up with Wednesday being kidnapped before returning to Nevermore Academy, where fresh mysteries and new dangers await. The official synopsis reads, armed with her razor-sharp wit and deadpan humor, Wednesday plunges into a new bone-chilling supernatural mystery. The cast includes Jenna Ortega as Wednesday, Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, Luis Guzman as Gomez, and Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester. New faces joining the series include Steve Buscemi as Nevermore's new principal, Barry D., and Jonah Lumley as Wednesday's grandmother. Speculation about Lady Gaga's role proved true, with 2 sources confirming that she will also release a new song titled Dead Dance for the season. The song will appear in the show and its music video is expected to release alongside her character's debut. Gaga was spotted filming scenes at Mexico City's famous Island of the Dolls, a chilling location filled with decaying dolls hanging from trees. Director Tim Burton praised Gaga at the Season 2 London premiere, saying working with her was inspirational. Although Gaga couldn't attend the event due to her tour, Burton hinted they might collaborate again in the future. Thankfully, fans now have a release date. Season 2 of Wednesday will premiere in 2 parts. Part 1 will release on Wednesday, August 6th, while Part 2 will follow on Wednesday, September 3rd. Each part contains 4 episodes, making a total of 8. This 2-part model is now Netflix's approach for its biggest shows, though the gap between parts is short this time. In the first official trailer released July 9th, Wednesday is haunted by a terrifying vision of her roommate Enid's death, and she believes it is her fault. Determined to stop the vision from coming true, Wednesday sets out to save Enid at all costs. The trailer also introduces new characters, including Jonah Lumley's Grandma Hester. Netflix also released the first 6 minutes of Season 2, showing Wednesday trapped in a serial killer's basement, tied up in a mock tea party surrounded by creepy dolls. But thanks to her refined psychic abilities, she might escape unharmed. Another teaser released in April showed her back at Nevermore Academy, setting up the chilling events of the new season. We watch Wednesday return to Nevermore Academy, the same campus where she and her friends survived murder and mayhem in the first season. At Tudum, Netflix's global fan event in June 2023, the streamer released a video of Wednesday stars Jenna Ortega, Joy Sunday, and Hunter Dewin reacting to popular fan theories. In that video, the cast discussed Enid's storyline, Xavier and Wednesday's relationship, and even more fan speculation. They also teased that Season 2 would introduce a brand new member of the Addams family. That new character is Grandma, who will be played by Jonah Lumley. According to Netflix's official description for Season 2, Wednesday will once again face fresh foes and challenges. The new season pushes Wednesday Addams into another year of dark, quirky, and creepy mayhem. She must navigate family, friends, and old enemies, all while being pulled into a brand new, bone-chilling supernatural mystery. Back in November 2022, TV Guide interviewed showrunners Alfred Gough and Miles Miller to talk about the ending of Season 1 and how it sets up Season 2. Here are some highlights from that interview. One of the big questions fans had was about Principal Larissa Weems. At the end of Season 1, Weems was poisoned by Mrs. Thornhill and collapsed. We never saw her regain consciousness, so her fate was left hanging. Miller confirmed that Weems is officially dead. He explained that killing such a major character was important to the story because it shows that there are real sacrifices in this world. However, because this is a supernatural series, Miller also added, never say never. So while Weems is gone for now, in a show like this there's always a chance of a return. Actress Gwendolyn Christie, who played Weems, was not listed among the returning cast for Season 2, but fans are still holding out hope that her character may somehow come back. The showrunners also said Season 2 will reveal more about Wednesday's mysterious stalker, who was teased at the end of Season 1. They confirmed that viewers have already met the stalker on screen, but they are keeping the identity a secret for now. Miller said, "We certainly have big plans and a lot more stories to tell when it comes to Wednesday and her friends." At Netflix's live event in January 2025, the streamer confirmed that Lady Gaga will appear in Wednesday Season 2, Part 2. Her character is named Rose Xylene Roadwood, a legendary teacher at Nevermore Academy who crosses paths with Wednesday. Entertainment Weekly had previously reported Gaga's casting, but her role was officially announced at that event. Interestingly, Gaga already had a fan connection to Wednesday. After Season 1 aired, fans went viral for editing Wednesday's iconic dance scene to Gaga's song Bloody Mary. Before the release of Season 2, Variety reported that Lady Gaga would also release a brand new song called Dead Dance. The track will appear in the second half of the season, released alongside her on-screen debut. Actor Anthony Michael Hall is another big name joining the cast. Netflix has not yet revealed details about his role. Hall and Tim Burton have worked together before, most famously in Burton's 1990 classic Edward Scissorhands. In May 2024, Netflix released a teaser that confirmed multiple new cast members. These include Billie Piper, who will play a character named Capri, and Steve Buscemi, who joins as Principal Barry Dort. Other new regulars include Owen Painter as Templeton Tyler. In addition, several actors who were guest stars or recurring characters in Season 1 have been promoted to series regulars for Season 2. This includes 3 key members of the Addams family: Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Addams, Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams, and Isaac Ordonez as Pugsley Addams. Joy Sunday, who plays Bianca Barkley, has also been upgraded to a regular cast member. Netflix has also announced a long list of guest stars for Season 2. Jonah Lumley, as mentioned earlier, will play another member of the Addams family, Grandma. Newton will appear as Dr. Fibburn, and Christopher Lloyd will make a guest appearance in an as-yet unrevealed role. Fans will recognize Lloyd as the actor who famously played Uncle Fester in the 1990s Addams Family movies. In the Netflix series, however, Uncle Fester is played by Fred Armisen, who will be reprising his role in Season 2. Other guest stars include Fraser and Haley Joel Osment. As for returning cast members, Percy Hines-White, who played Xavier Thorpe in Season 1, will not be coming back. Xavier was one of Wednesday's main love interests in the first season, but Season 2 will reportedly move away from the love triangle storyline altogether. Percy Hines-White had been accused of sexual assault and since deleted social media posts back in January 2023, which he has denied. Here's a rundown of the main cast for Season 2. Jenna Ortega returns as Wednesday Addams, Emma Myers as Enid Sinclair, Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Addams, Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams, Isaac Ordonez as Pugsley Addams, Hunter Dewin as Tyler Galpin, and Joy Sunday as Bianca Barkley. In September 2024, Collider interviewed co-creator Alfred Goff, who confirmed that Tim Burton will once again direct 4 episodes of Season 2, just like he did for Season 1. Netflix later revealed that the Season 2 premiere will be written by Goff and Miller and will be titled Here We Go Again. Production on Season 2 began in Ireland in May 2024 and wrapped in December of the same year. The first season was filmed in Romania, but the production was moved to Ireland for Season 2 because some of the filming logistics in Romania were too difficult. According to reports, discussions about moving production had already begun during the filming of Season 1. During a fan event in June 2023, Jenna Ortega revealed that she will also be taking on the role of producer for Season 2. She explained that the team decided to lean even more heavily into the horror elements this time. Ortega said, "We are removing romantic love interests, which I think is great. The focus is on making the plot darker and scarier." And finally, here's the big news. Wednesday's story won't be stopping after Season 2. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in July 2024, Ortega and Tim Burton confirmed that Wednesday has officially been renewed for Season 3. Netflix's chief content officer, Bella Bajaria, also said that there is still a lot more to explore in the world of the Addams family. So, to sum it all up, Season 2 of Wednesday is filled with new mysteries, new characters, and a darker tone. With Lady Gaga joining the cast, big names like Anthony Michael Hall appearing, and even more focus on supernatural horror, this season is shaping up to be bigger and better than ever. The first season of Wednesday, directed and executive produced by Bergen, ended with a big deal for Wednesday. Not only did the panic teen save Nevermore Academy and its outcast from the circuit jokesterin, but she revealed the truth identity of Marilyn Tminel, who had been behind much of the season's terror, and while most of the mysterious from the show's first 8 episodes have been solved, some big questions remain, namely who is the stalker continuing to follow Wednesday this ever more in light of the news that the show will be toning down romance. We have eager to find out what's next for the relationship that Wednesday formed across the first season. Of course, it's a matter of Dial Galp and the seemingly harmless Nomi, who became romantically interested in Wednesday, turned out to be the monster's high she had been after tailoring his side from F. of Wedded Out in a Wednesday's final episodes and was defeated. We don't know what's next for the characters, but he ended the series waking up in the car, Albert cleansed. So his story is not done yet. We were looking for something similar to Wednesday to watch while you wait for news of the second season. Take a look at this list of show like Wednesday TV Guide has to part together on Wednesday. The word or cast has lots of meaning. Is blanketed term of the supernaturally a gifted accomplishing all the students at No Academy, a boarding school that houses Siren Gorgas werewolves, and Wednesday Addams Jenna Ortega, who probably would have qualified to attend no more on a strength of her iconic whiteness even if Netflix series had not given her scenic power in the first season. Wednesday stood apart from her pair on Outcast. Among Outcast as directors and executive producers, Stan Burton put it, but in the second season the sub-social landscape has seen this year. Where does the Addams is one of the cookie characters. It's not hard to see how is implementing life here. That's why Tony K's new final frame of no thanks to heroic in the season 1 final is an obvious reflection of what's phenomenon this show has become in Netflix's. So what does popularly mean for both Wednesday and Wednesday for the characters? It annoys us the series we are it better even if it is an episode you hear Outcast you so frequently when no one is treated like on Wednesday herself seems less freaking has listened. She's not any less unusual, but she's less distinct from her, sewing her classmates have embarrassed her in spite her objections and her visit to the outside what are increasingly fleeting. Something is lost when there is no culture flash in an Addams family story, and yet in the plenty of superficial ways Wednesday has become a more entertaining show. That first half of Wednesday season 2, which consists of over 4 episodes and premiere on August 6th, followed by the second half of the season or 4 episodes on September 3rd, addresses the first season's flow so studiously that feels like actor Alfred Kopp and My Smiler are going to join a checklist free Wednesday from bland love triangle check, bring her family Into the action check leave one of students' body act remember you can't win them all but the show makes some progress. The most satisfying change is the end of the love triangle but witnesses and the move on quickly even as Hunter Duhan thus normie turn. Monsters hide stills are only 4/4 of the story as patient at Hill Psychiatric Hospital wins they can't muster up an Angus for last love beering art as romantic drama G wins the M-term for an Addams Family reunion. Catherine Zeta Jones and Elle Gassman have been up to the series regular as her lovebird parents. Mordecai and Gomez who accept an offer from Nevermore's new principal Barry. Jordleast me that keeps them close to the campus as Odzu has also been promoted to sales regular as Ryder's Day's younger brother works no in his first year at a boarding school with epoxy standard in the men's splot. Abato and Mordecai and Goss is comfortably devoted to the one as ever. The tension in the family comes courtesy of Mordecai as strange mother Grandma Jonah who drive up family. Seeker tried to write her psyche gift but the show most effective will card is a Sil Arms Skeel Uncle Fester perhaps a family last show or cast stand faster success is making Wednesday look but a grief some elsewhere. The plot of the second season is driven by a portent of a Vision Wars wins that her roommate and will die and that any ultimately the mice will be wins this fault. Witnesses supernatural ability which may or may not be a danger to her. Start glitching before she can figure out how to prevent her vision for coming true. Forcing her to rely on show later snoping to crack the cast. It will stand. Affair for a young T psychic but it works especially because this show and Jack the proceedings with strange and morbid details as Wens is haunted by multiple suckers and a murderous murder of Cross though these flashes of horror still FLE out of step with the show's friendly supernatural boarding school hinjix in the that scene for all. Wens this upgrade is just as accurate to say that nothing much has changed. This is still a series that expect it. Most assumed cast members to say normie with a trade first Nevermore remains a frustrating setting when that is show transit into the molds. It's a deadly old cast and a quickly refuge and its students have incredible power but the show mostly utilize them for pranks. Fundamentally this is a coot problem when's the no clear point of view on what it means to be different and yet indecision too that Discord comes close to the being part of the fun. Has the show gotten better of harassing its own ridiculousness or just one adness audiences? Take the season ahead episode which follow the Nevermore students when no one and off-sea campus camping tribe is the most cartoonish episodes in a bunch s often creating except when they are actually funny. It's also got a musical number of a jewel and why not Wednesday as a Netflix mag hit the hour. Could not be further from New York Time button directly season premiere which features his Acro Jewel on air November. Legends rendered in fantastic black and white stop motion animation witnessing is at OSA itself but at least it's the unpredictable Jenna with her dry end. Otherly star in the show Steady Anger she's joined by scary of new cast member. Many of whom are underutilized especially Class for Loyal as he assembled professors or left Billy Piper music teacher Mrs. Capri and Challen as Low Hill secretary doctor between even and at the subject for of our hero vision is son from the main action distracted by a crush that is not even as charming as her friendship with the Addams living hand thing. Wednesday is best when it stays tightly focused on Wednesday but the show does not do her any favors when it is most of the relationship aside from her spirited outspreading with Mika. Then again Lady Gaga has not even stole up yet 4 episodes and it feels like the second season. Our story with Wednesday is just beginning. The new season is starting to hint at even bigger ideas, including themes of fear, prejudice, and identity. If Lady Gaga's upcoming guest appearance is any indication, Season 2 will be adding fresh energy to the show. The story also seems ready to keep exploring the monster of fame either as a theme within the show, or through Wednesday herself, whose popularity has grown too large to ignore. Season 2 of Wednesday officially premieres on August 6 on Netflix. The cast includes Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams and Emma Myers as Enid Sinclair. Fans have been waiting a long time for the trailer, and Netflix finally delivered it. But Wednesday isn't the only series making headlines. At San Diego Comic-Con, the long-awaited trailer for Peacemaker Season 2 also dropped. The trailer shows Peacemaker, once again played by John Cena, down on his luck and struggling to find his place. In the opening, we see him in a painfully awkward job interview with none other than Guy Gardner. The cast expands with new faces including Isabella Merced, Maxwell Lord, and members of Team Meadow. At one point, Peacemaker even ends up fighting another version of himself. What in the multiverse is going on here? Before this trailer, James Gunn had already teased fans with an 11-second sneak peek where Danielle Brooks told Cena's character, Leo, "You are a superhero now." And yes, he sure is. Gunn even said he just finished editing the season premiere, and it's one of his favorite episodes he has ever worked on. Season 2 of Peacemaker is coming soon, only on Max. John Cena is back as Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker, and James Gunn, now co-head of DC Studios alongside Peter Safran, has written every single episode of Season 2. Gunn will also direct 3 out of the 8 episodes, while the rest will be directed by Greg Motala and other talented filmmakers. Director stellar Nadia Latifah Jones revealed on Instagram in 2024 that she directed a few of the biggest episodes of the season. The official description doesn't give away much, but here's what we know. Season 2 will follow Christopher Smith, a violent anti-hero who is trying to reconcile his past while discovering a new sense of purpose. He continues his mission to fight evil, but always in his own misguided way. While Season 1 of Peacemaker took place in the old DC Extended Universe, Season 2 will officially be set in the brand new DC Universe. In Season 1, fans saw Peacemaker auditioning for a spot in the Justice League, even interacting with characters like Guy Gardner and Hawk. But James Gunn confirmed at Comic-Con that the second season takes place just 1 month after the events of Superman. This makes things interesting because, technically, Season 1 of Peacemaker and even the Suicide Squad are no longer canon in the new DC universe. But Season 2 uses a clever multiverse storyline to bridge the gap. Joel Kinnaman's character Rick Flag, who died in the Suicide Squad, will now be connected to Peacemaker's story through his father. This means Season May 2nd not be a complete reset, instead, it's an expansion that ties together the past and the future. James Gunn also confirmed that a Waller series is officially in development. Viola Davis will reprise her role as Amanda Waller, the high-ranking government official who runs Task Force X. Characters from Peacemaker are expected to appear in Waller as well. While no official release date has been set, Gunn confirmed that Waller will begin filming right after Peacemaker Season 2 wraps. Now, let's switch gears to another highly anticipated series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Walker Scobell, Leah Sava Jeffries, and Arian Simhadri survived the dramatic events of Season 1, but their journey has only just begun. Disney Plus has already renewed Percy Jackson not only for a second season, but also for a third. Season 2 will premiere in December 2025 and will adapt Rick Riordan's second book in the series, The Sea of Monsters. Riordan himself expressed his excitement, saying, "I can't wait to bring the next chapter of Percy's adventure to Disney+." The main cast will return, with Scobell as Percy, Jeffries as Annabeth, and Simhadri as Grover. Executive producers Rick Riordan and his wife Becky Riordan will continue guiding the series. Season 1 ended with the dramatic battle everyone was waiting for. In the final moments, it was revealed that Luke was the true lightning thief. He opened Percy's eyes to the truth and tried to convince him to betray the gods. Percy refused, leading to an intense duel between the two former friends. Just when it seemed Luke was about to win, Annabeth intervened and helped Percy fight back. At Comic-Con 2025, Disney Plus revealed that Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2 will officially premiere on December 10, 2025. The announcement was paired with a brand new teaser trailer that gave fans their first look at Tyson, Percy's Cyclops half-brother, played by Daniel Deemer. During the panel, Disney also announced exciting casting news for Season 3. The series has found its Nico D'Angelo, though it was bittersweet since actor Lance Reddick, who played Zeus in Season 1, passed away in March 2023 before the series even launched. His wife later shared how proud he would have been to see the show continue. The cast also shared their dream choices for other iconic roles. Walker Scobell joked about wanting to see Jonathan Groff join the series, while Arian Simhadri suggested Christopher Judge could play Atlas. The Disney Plus panel confirmed that Percy Jackson and the Olympians has already been renewed for a third season, which will adapt Rick Riordan's The Titan's Curse, the third book in the series. So here's the big picture: Wednesday Addams is heading into a darker, scarier season with Lady Gaga joining the cast. Peacemaker is returning with more multiverse madness, with James Gunn fully in charge of the story. And Percy Jackson's adventures are far from over, with seasons 2 and 3 already confirmed. From Netflix to Max to Disney Plus, it's clear 2025 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years ever for TV fans. This season will be brand new and exciting, bringing fan-favorite characters like Artemis the Hunter and Echo the Angel to life for the very first time. Disney described this in a press release, calling it a clear sign of their strong commitment to the show. It shows how much the fandom has embraced the series and how serious Disney is about making it last. Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 1 is already streaming on Disney Plus, and now fans are ready for even more. If you've also been waiting for Interview with the Vampire, there's good news too. Season 3 will focus on Sam Reed's character Lestat as he finally tells his own story through the power of rock music. This highly anticipated season is set to premiere in 2026, so fans have time to speculate about what the music tracks might be called. There's still plenty of material left in Anne Rice's original book series, and AMC is planning to cover it all. Here's everything we know so far about Interview with the Vampire Season 3. Jacob Anderson and showrunner Roland Jones confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con that fans will get a new teaser, new cast members, and even a new title. Season 3 will follow Lestat as he embarks on a tour with his band, which ties directly into the Vampire Lestat novel from Anne Rice's famous Vampire Chronicles. AMC also dropped a special behind-the-scenes teaser during Comic-Con 2025. This came just before Season 2 premieres on September 3, 2025. Netflix will release the first 4 episodes at midnight Pacific Time, 3 a.m. Eastern. The second batch of 4 episodes, which concludes the season, will drop exactly 1 month later on September 3. That means fans can enjoy Wednesday's adventures in 2 big parts. Episodes 1 to 4 arrive on August 6, 2025. Episodes 5 to 8 arrive on September 3, 2025. So far, the marketing for Season 2 of Wednesday has been incredibly vague, especially about the return of certain characters from Season 1. However, the newest trailer reveals a lot. We see Jenna Ortega's Wednesday desperate enough to seek help from an old enemy. This suggests that Season 2 will lean even more heavily into horror than the first season. Wednesday is back at Nevermore Academy, joined this time by her brother Pugsley, who enrolls as a new student. Wednesday may be antisocial, but in Season 1 she still managed to form real bonds, especially with her roommate Enid, the cheerful werewolf. One of the sweetest moments of the first season was when Wednesday actually hugged Enid, showing she truly cares beneath her dark and cold personality. Season 2 shows Wednesday trying to push people away again, but the trailer suggests that her loved ones will once again be put in danger. A major storyline will involve Wednesday having terrifying visions of Enid dying, and believing it's her fault. This fear even leads her to discuss it with her mother, Morticia, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. The trailer also teases some huge moments, like a new ball sequence, clearly meant to rival the iconic dance scene from Season 1. But instead of joy, Wednesday's new visions show only fear. In one chilling clip, we see Hunter Doohan return as Tyler, her former love interest who also happens to be a Hyde monster. In Season 1, Tyler was caught and subdued, but new marketing suggests Wednesday might turn to him for help this time. Why? Well, if Enid's transformation goes wrong, Tyler's Hyde abilities might be the only way to save her. Or Wednesday may simply need his raw strength for an upcoming fight. Either way, it seems that desperate times will push her into dangerous alliances. The trailer also hints that Wednesday will need to dig deeper into the Addams family's history to solve the mystery and protect Enid. There are even suggestions that the Crackstone family may once again play a role, tying back to the dark events of Season 1. One of the most exciting reveals is that Season 2 will feature even more of the Addams family. Grandma Addams is set to appear, and the writers have promised bigger storylines for Morticia, Gomez, and Uncle Fester. The season is designed to expand the world while giving Wednesday's family more to do. Netflix has already confirmed the future of the show. Even before Season 2 premieres, Wednesday has been renewed for Season 3. This is no surprise considering how successful the first season was. It became Netflix's most-watched English-language series ever, beating even Bridgerton and Stranger Things. Season 1 ended with huge cliffhangers, including Tyler's true nature as a Hyde and Wednesday receiving a mysterious stalker's message. Season 2 will finally provide answers, while also setting up the path for Season 3. Although we don't yet know exactly what Season 3 will be about, it's likely to continue exploring Nevermore Academy, the surrounding town of Jericho, and the Addams family's unusual history. The showrunners have also teased that more familiar faces from the Addams family will appear in future seasons. With the series becoming darker and more complex, there's room for even bigger surprises. Netflix recently announced that writing for Season 3 is already underway, even before Season 2 premieres. This shows just how much confidence the streamer has in the series. While the wait between Season 1 and Season 2 is long, about 2.5 years, fans may not have to wait as long for Season 3. To sum it up, Wednesday Season 2 premieres in 2 parts starting August 6, 2025. The season will introduce more Addams family characters, bigger mysteries, and darker themes. Netflix has already renewed the show for Season 3. With Wednesday Addams more popular than ever, this is only the beginning of her delightfully creepy story. In an interview with Collider, Wednesday co-creators Alfred Gough and Miles Miller revealed some exciting updates. While they are taking a short break to celebrate the premiere of Season 2, work on Season 3 is already well underway. Gough explained, "We are actually in the writer's room for Season 3. So we are right back at it, but now, of course, we also have to launch Season 2. They also confirmed that Season 3 will likely follow the same structure as before, with 8 episodes mixing horror and comedy. What's still uncertain is whether Tim Burton will return to direct. He directed 4 episodes in both Season 1 and Season 2, but his involvement in Season 3 hasn't been confirmed yet. Still, the fact that the showrunners are already deep into planning means there's a good chance fans won't have to wait as long for the 3rd season as they did between Seasons 1 and 2. If Season 2 is even more successful than the first, which seems likely, Netflix will surely want to keep that momentum going. In the same interview, Miller explained how much work goes into each season. Filming just one 8-episode season of Wednesday takes about 9 months. After that, the heavy visual effects work adds even more time, bringing the total production process up to at least 18 months. That means, at best, fans could get a new season roughly every 2 years. If all goes well in the writer's room, Season 3 might be ready sooner than expected. It's impossible to know exactly what Season 3 will be about until we've seen how Season 2 ends. But one thing is clear, Netflix strongly believes in the show's future. Season 2 will give more attention to the Addams family, even introducing Grandma Addams, which sets up opportunities for the story to expand beyond the walls of Nevermore Academy in later seasons. In another interview, Miller mentioned that both he and Gough are prepared to keep making as many seasons as Netflix wants. They already have long-term ideas mapped out for the show's future. So, while we won't know Season 3's story until after Season 2, fans can at least relax knowing the show isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Netflix also released the official episode titles for Wednesday Season 2, Part 1. This first half of the season premieres on August 6, 2025, with the second half arriving on September 3, 2025. Season 1 first premiered back in November 2022, so fans have been waiting nearly 3 years for the continuation. The new titles, announced on July 31, 2025, continue a fun tradition established in Season 1. Each episode title includes the letter V cleverly placed within a common phrase. This small detail ties into the Addams family's signature dark humor and wordplay. The episode titles for Season 2, Part 1 are: Episode 1, Here We Be Again. Episode 2, The Devil You Be. Episode 3, Call Forth the Dead. Episode 4, If Vols Could Talk. Like in Season 1, these titles hint at the storylines without giving away too much. Here We Be Again suggests Wednesday's return to Nevermore Academy after summer break. The Devil You Be hints at the return of a familiar character, most likely Tyler, whose return was teased in the trailer. Call Forth the Dead seems to point toward something supernatural, perhaps Wednesday attempting to summon or communicate with spirits. Finally, If Falls Could Talk could refer to either Nevermore Academy or the Addams Family Mansion, both locations hiding plenty of dark secrets. Alongside the episode titles, Goff and Miller gave fans more insight into Season 2's themes. They teased that Wednesday will think she knows exactly what she's walking into when she returns to Nevermore, but she's wrong. She thinks she's going to be in control, that she knows where all the bodies are buried, but she doesn't, they explained. In short, nothing in Season 2 will be as it seems. The creators also discussed the importance of Wednesday's relationship with her mother, Morticia. This dynamic will be one of the central emotional threads of Season 2. In Season 1, Wednesday struggled to accept her similarities to Morticia, but she began to understand their bond by the end. In Season 2, Morticia will play a much larger role as she becomes more directly involved in Wednesday's life at Nevermore. The showrunners explained that the tension between Wednesday and Morticia comes down to control. Wednesday always wants to control her own destiny, while Morticia, described as a helicopter parent, tries to manage her daughter's choices and powers. This creates conflict as Wednesday resists her mother's interference, even though Morticia's worries come from a place of love. One of the most interesting points the showrunners made is that Morticia will struggle to let go and trust Wednesday to find her own way. At the same time, Grandma Addams will step in with her own perspective, reminding Morticia that even though she hovers like a helicopter, she still needs to give her daughter space. The writers even joked that if Morticia is a helicopter parent, then Grandma is more like a drone parent, always present but rarely seen. The creators also drew from their own personal experiences. Between them, they have 4 daughters, so they've witnessed firsthand how complicated and unique mother-daughter relationships can be. They wanted to reflect those real dynamics in Wednesday's story, making the characters feel grounded and relatable despite the supernatural setting. Altogether, these details promise that Season 2 of Wednesday will expand not only the mysteries of Nevermore Academy but also the emotional heart of the series. By exploring Wednesday's bond with Morticia and deepening the Addams family's presence, the show is preparing for even bigger storylines in Season 3 and beyond. Wednesday Season 1 established the unique relationship between Wednesday and Morticia Addams. Many early reviews pointed out that this mother-daughter conflict was something new compared to past adaptations of the Addams family. In older movies and TV shows, Wednesday and Morticia didn't clash this much. But the Netflix version leaned into their differences, and according to co-creator Miles Miller, that made the story feel far more relatable and grounded. By focusing more on character development, the show created a fresh, modern take on Wednesday and Morticia's relationship. Their ongoing conflict added emotional weight, especially when Wednesday famously declared she had no heart. Of course, Season 1 proved that wasn't true. Wednesday may act cold, but deep down she's compassionate, loyal, and guided by her own strong moral compass. She constantly helps her friends at Nevermore Academy, even when she doesn't admit how much she cares. Her complicated feelings toward her parents make her even more interesting as a character, and watching her slowly embrace the parts of herself that resemble Morticia is one of the show's most rewarding arcs. Going into Season 2, fans are eager to see how this next stage of their relationship unfolds. Adding Grandma Addams into the mix promises even more tension. Morticia's helicopter parenting style will likely clash with Grandma's more relaxed and unconventional approach, creating an even richer dynamic. The long wait for Wednesday Season 2 is finally almost over. It's been nearly 3 years since Season 1 premiered in 2022, and anticipation is higher than ever. Season 1 remains Netflix's most-watched English-language TV series of all time, with a staggering 252 million total views worldwide. It ranks just below Squid Game Season 1, which had 265 million views. If Season 2 can match or even surpass those numbers, it could take the crown as Netflix's biggest show ever, at least until later releases challenge it. Season 2 will be released in 2 parts. The first 4 episodes drop on Wednesday, August 6, 2025, at 3 a.m. Eastern/midnight Pacific, perfectly timed to land on an actual Wednesday. Then, the remaining 4 episodes will premiere on September 3, 2025. Each episode will run between 45 and 50 minutes, just like in Season 1, though the premiere might be closer to an hour long. That matches the extended 57-minute pilot episode from the first season. So even though fans are only getting 4 episodes at first, the content will feel substantial. Netflix has already confirmed the titles for Part 1 of Season 2, continuing the tradition of playful wordplay that includes the letter V in every episode title. They are: Episode 1, Here We V Again. Episode 2, The Devil You V. Episode 3, Call Forth the Dead. Episode 4, If Vols Could Talk. These titles give subtle clues about what's coming. The first clearly signals Wednesday's return to Nevermore. Episode 2 suggests the reappearance of an old enemy, most likely Tyler, whose return was teased in trailers. Episode 3 hints at supernatural activity, possibly a summoning. And Episode 4 points toward hidden secrets inside Nevermore Academy or the Addams Family Mansion. Fans who can't wait until the full release can already watch the first 6 minutes of Season 2 online. The sneak peek features Wednesday trying to pass through airport security with an arsenal of weapons hidden in her luggage. It's a bold and funny reminder of why audiences love her so much, and it sets the stage for another thrilling season. Season 2 picks up shortly after the shocking ending of Season 1, when Wednesday received a threatening message from a stalker. The new season sees her returning to Nevermore Academy, joined by her younger brother Pugsley and the rest of the outcasts. But this time, Wednesday's fame as the girl who saved the school has made her even more of a target. The release schedule is global, so here are the confirmed times. US, PT 12 a.m. US, ET 3 a.m. Canada, Toronto 3 a.m. Brazil, Rio 4 a.m. UK, BST 8 a.m. Europe, CET 9 a.m. South Africa, 9 a.m. India, New Delhi 12:30 p.m. Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, 3 p.m. Australia, Sydney 3 p.m. Japan, Tokyo 4 p.m. New Zealand, 7 p.m. No matter where you live, you'll be able to stream Season 2 the moment it goes live in your time zone. Creators Alfred Goff and Miles Miller teased in an interview with Tudum that nothing in Season 2 will go the way Wednesday expects. She believes she knows Nevermore inside and out, but the truth will shock her. They promise darker, scarier mysteries, gruesome new challenges, creepy visions, and even a strange summer camp storyline involving zombies and crows. Tyler Galpin will also return, though how he fits into the story remains to be seen. And in one of the biggest surprises, pop superstar Lady Gaga will be joining the cast in a major role. She will play the mysterious and enigmatic Rosalind Rutherford, a legendary teacher at Nevermore Academy. Gaga's character won't appear in Part 1, though, so fans will have to wait until September for her big debut. Between the return of beloved characters, shocking new villains, and the continued growth of Wednesday's relationship with her family, Season 2 is shaping up to be even bigger, darker, and more unpredictable than the first. The countdown to Nevermore is almost over. The second season of Wednesday on Netflix is one of the most highly anticipated releases in recent years. The Addams Family franchise has always been iconic, but this series has taken it to an entirely new level. Since Season 1 became Netflix's most-watched English-language original, fans everywhere have been desperate to know exactly when Season 2 will return to their screens. In this video, I'll break down the worldwide release schedule, explain why Netflix is splitting the season into 2 parts, and give you the full background on how this supernatural mystery series evolved into the global hit it is today. So get your favorite black outfit ready, snap your fingers, and let's dive in. It should come as no surprise that Netflix is dropping Season 2 on a Wednesday, specifically Wednesday, August 6, 2025. The release will be simultaneous worldwide, so US viewers won't get it earlier than the rest of the globe. Everyone will be able to stream it at the same time in their own time zone. Here are the release times in major regions. USA, 12 a.m. Pacific Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. UK, 8 a.m. Australia, 5 p.m. New Zealand, 7 p.m. Canada, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. India, 12:30 p.m. Singapore, 3 p.m. Japan, 4 p.m. Brazil, 4 a.m. Season 2 will be released in 2 volumes. Volume 1 will contain 4 episodes, all dropping at once on August 6th. Fans won't have to wait week by week for new episodes, but the full season won't arrive all at once either. Netflix has been following this strategy with many of its biggest shows, splitting them into 2 or 3 parts to extend the hype. Stranger Things, Bridgerton, Cobra Kai, Emily in Paris, The Sandman, and Outer Banks have all used this format. In fact, Squid Game remains one of the few Netflix originals not split into volumes. So while the wait for Volume 2 might feel long, it won't be unbearable. The final 4 episodes of Wednesday Season 2 will premiere less than a month later, on Wednesday, September 3, 2025. And don't worry, these won't be the final episodes of the show. On July 23, Netflix confirmed that Wednesday's murderous mysteries are far from over. This reluctant hero will continue her adventures well into the future. Behind the scenes, the story of how Wednesday was created is just as fascinating as the show itself. Writers Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, who first met in a U.S. training program back in the early 1990s, have been creative partners for decades. Together, they wrote films like Spider-Man 2 and shows like Smallville and Into the Badlands. After years of working non-stop, they were looking for a smaller, more personal story set in modern America. That's when the idea of focusing on Wednesday Addams came to life. They envisioned her as a gothic detective, placed in a coming-of-age story at Nevermore Academy. Out of all the Addams family characters, Wednesday was always the most memorable, sarcastic, intelligent, and darkly funny. Their pitch was approved by the Addams Family Estate and MGM, and the two developed a full-series Bible for the show. In 2019, they pitched Wednesday to every major platform. Netflix showed interest, but no deal was reached at first. Then the pandemic hit, and MGM funded a virtual writer's room. The scripts took shape, and when Tim Burton read them, he signed on immediately. Originally, Burton wanted to direct every episode, but he ultimately handled the pilot and 3 others. Once Burton was attached, Netflix finally closed the deal, and the series quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Season 2 comes with a bigger budget and even more confidence. The writers have leaned into Wednesday's complicated relationships, especially with her mother Morticia, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. Morticia and Gomez, Pugsley, Uncle Fester, and even Grandma Addams are expected to have more screen time this season. New characters are also joining the mix, like Nevermore's eager-to-please new principal and a quirky magician named Victor. One of the reasons Season 1 worked so well was Jenna Ortega's commanding performance as Wednesday. Now 22 years old, Ortega is stepping into Season 2 with even more presence and experience. Her sharp one-liners and deadpan humor continue to define the character. Some of her lines are already destined to become fan favorites, like Uncle Fester's hilarious farewell, "Of all the women I've used, you're my favorite," or Wednesday's cutting remark, "I don't have FOMO. I have a fear of being included." The show has always been careful to capture Wednesday's dark brilliance without watering her down. She's intelligent, cynical, and unwilling to conform, yet strangely relatable to audiences worldwide. As co-creator Alfred Goff put it, "We're not 16-year-old girls, but we both have daughters in that age range." That gave us the perspective we needed to write her with honesty and depth. So, with Volume 1 dropping on August 6th and Volume 2 arriving September 3rd, fans don't have long to wait. Between the family drama, the gothic mysteries, and Wednesday's sharp wit, Season 2 is shaping up to be even more addictive than Season 1. One of the best parts of Wednesday is that it lets the character do so many different things. The show balances emotional drama, action, and dark comedy. At one moment, Wednesday is having a tense heart-to-heart with her mother, and the next, she's in the middle of an intense sword fight. In this new season, she takes center stage more than ever, and yes, there's even an episode where she gets drunk. Back in Season 1, fans were shocked when Thing was stabbed in Episode 7. For a moment, it looked like the beloved hand might actually die. The production team revealed that when they were preparing Season 1 in Romania, they auditioned a wide variety of performers to bring Thing to life, including puppeteers, contortionists, and even magicians. Each tried to create a convincing hand performance. Many had fingers that were too short, too thin, or too stiff. Then Victor Dorobantu auditioned. His hand movements were so natural and expressive that he instantly gave thing a unique humanity. Netflix's visual effects supervisor Tim Burton was so impressed that Dorobantu spent 4 weeks in a special boot camp to prepare. The results speak for themselves. Fans loved him. Wednesday has received high praise from audiences around the world, which naturally raised the question, would Netflix give it a second season? The 8-episode first season told a complete story but also left the door open for more. While Netflix doesn't usually announce renewals immediately after a premiere, the show's creators Alfred Goff and Miles Miller were already openly discussing Season 2 during interviews. Season 1 ended with Wednesday defeating Tyler, who had transformed into a Hyde, and stopping Ms. Thornhill's plan. While Tyler was taken into police custody, the final moments showed him breaking free, teasing a potential comeback. When asked about this, the showrunners confirmed it was intentional. Yes, his story is far from over, they said. This strongly hinted that Tyler could return in Season 2. As for the future of the series, Miller and Goff revealed they already have multiple seasons mapped out. They explained that when they create a show, they plan at least 3 or 4 seasons of possible storylines. Of course, things can change depending on casting and how the audience responds, but they've built a clear runway for where the show could go. One interesting detail at the end of Season 1 was Wednesday receiving her first cell phone. Many fans assumed Season 2 would show her texting or using it, but the creators quickly dismissed that idea. They joked that Wednesday would probably throw the phone out the window rather than use it. In fact, one of them laughed about a silly idea where she accidentally becomes a TikTok star, but clarified it's not part of their actual plans. The showrunners also noted that while the story always focuses on Wednesday herself, they want to expand the roles of other Addams family members. In Season 1, Morticia, Gomez, Pugsley, and Uncle Fester all appeared briefly. In Season 2, they're planning to give them more screen time and explore the family dynamic further. Because Wednesday isn't based on a single book or previous adaptation, the writers have the freedom to expand the Addams Family universe in new directions. Season 1 gave fans a taste of this by mixing mystery, horror, and teen drama into something fresh. With more seasons, they can dig deeper into the Addams Family lore while keeping Wednesday at the center. Netflix typically announces renewals 2 to 3 months after a premiere, so many expected a Season 2 confirmation by early 2023. Given the massive success of Season 1, which broke records for viewership, a renewal seemed almost certain. Fans were especially eager to see the friendships Wednesday built at Nevermore Academy continue, along with more of her interactions with Enid, Xavier, and the rest of the outcasts. As for Tyler, it's very likely he'll return in some capacity. Even if he's not the main villain again, a smaller arc where he schemes against Wednesday could keep his storyline alive. Whatever happens, Jenna Ortega's incredible performance as Wednesday will remain the show's heart. For now, Season 1 of Wednesday is still streaming on Netflix. If you haven't already, it's the perfect time to revisit Nevermore Academy before Season 2 arrives. The first 4 episodes of the hit Netflix series Wednesday, starring Jenna Ortega, are now streaming. The show follows her journey at Nevermore Academy as she uncovers dark mysteries. But fans are asking one big question: when will Wednesday Season 2 arrive with more episodes? The good news is that Netflix has confirmed Season 2, but there's a twist. Just like with Stranger Things Season 5, Wednesday Season 2 will be split into 2 parts. Below, we'll break down everything you need to know: the release dates, episode count, streaming details in the US and UK, the cast list, trailers, and spoilers. Netflix has announced that Wednesday Season 2 will premiere on August 6, 2025, at 5 a.m. The season will release in 2 parts. The first 4 episodes drop on August 6, while the remaining 4 episodes arrive on September 3, 2025. So, fans will have to wait just under a month to see how the story continues. Production officially wrapped on December 4, 2024, which means there will be an 8-month gap between the end of filming and the show's release, the same schedule that Season 1 followed. We've already seen some teasers for what's to come. In late April, Netflix released an official teaser trailer. It shows Wednesday returning to Nevermore Academy for her second year, comparing it to returning to the scene of the crime. The footage also includes flashes of strange clues, creepy dolls made of human hair, bloodied scenes, and dark imagery that hint at even bigger mysteries. Even before this teaser, fans got their first glimpse of Season 2 in Netflix's 2025 preview trailer. In just a few seconds, Wednesday is shown visiting Willow Hill Hospital, where she encounters Tyler Galpin restrained after his hide identity was exposed. This confirmed his return in Season 2 and hinted at an even darker storyline involving his mother and her past. During Geeked Week Live 2024, a behind-the-scenes video was released. While it didn't reveal major spoilers, it gave fans their first look at new sets and confirmed Tim Burton's continued involvement as director. A full-length trailer is still expected closer to the August release, and we'll update once it drops. As for the cast, most of the original stars will return, but there are also some changes. Jenna Ortega is, of course, back as Wednesday Addams, with Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Addams, Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams, and Isaac Ordonez as Pugsley. Showrunners Alfred Goff and Miles Miller confirmed they are excited to expand on the Addams family lore and introduce brand new characters. However, some familiar faces won't be returning. According to Deadline, Percy Hines-White, Xavier Thorpe, Naomi J. Ogawa, Yoko Tanaka, and Jamie McShane, Sheriff Galpin, will not be series regulars in Season 2. McShane is expected to return briefly as a guest star, mainly to wrap up Sheriff Galpin's story following Tyler's escape. The second season will expand the world of Nevermore Academy, with new students, teachers, and dark adversaries introduced. According to Netflix, Wednesday will face family, friends, and old enemies while continuing to deal with her sharp wit and dark humor. The creators promise even more of the strange, gothic fun that made the first season so popular. So here's the big picture. Wednesday Season 2 finally arrives on August 6, 2025, with Part 1, followed by Part 2 on September 3, 2025. Fans can expect new mysteries, returning villains, and more of Wednesday's razor-sharp humor. After such a long wait since Season 1, the countdown is almost over, and it looks like the next chapter at Nevermore Academy will be darker, creepier, and even more exciting. The new trailer and first-look pictures for Wednesday Season 2 tease that Wednesday Addams will struggle with disturbing visions while learning to control her growing powers. According to co-showrunners and executive producers Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, this new season will take Wednesday's journey in a darker and more complex direction. She'll have to deal with friends, enemies, and new mysteries as she heads into another chaotic year at Nevermore Academy. Netflix has confirmed the release schedule. Wednesday Season 2 will be split into 2 parts. Part 1 premieres on Wednesday, August 6, 2025, at 8 a.m. British Summer Time, arriving nearly 3 years after the first season debuted in November 2022. Global release times have also been confirmed. USA, Pacific Time 12 a.m. USA, Central Time 2 a.m. USA, Eastern Time 3 a.m. UK, BST 8 a.m. Central Europe, 9 a.m. Australia, AWST 3 p.m. Australia, ACST 5 a.m. There will be 8 episodes in total, with the first 4 dropping on August 6th and the final 4 episodes releasing on September 3, 2025. Fans have already gotten a taste of what's to come thanks to teasers and behind-the-scenes footage. At Netflix's Geeked Week event, a short trailer was shown that backed up Jenna Ortega's claim that Season 2 will be much darker in tone. Ortega herself has stepped into the role of producer this season, giving her even more creative influence. Production for Season 2 began in May 2024. Since then, several new cast members have been announced, including Jonah Lumley, Billie Piper, and Christopher Eccleston. These fresh faces will join Ortega and the rest of the original cast, adding even more intrigue to the story. Why the long wait? The delays are largely due to the Hollywood strikes in 2023, which affected almost every major production. Season 2 also relocated filming from Romania to Ireland, marking the country's largest production in history. On top of that, Wednesday relies heavily on complex visual effects, which take time and budget to complete. Looking at past patterns gives us more clues. Season 1 began filming in September 2021 and wrapped in March 2022. It finally premiered in late November 2022. Following the same timeline, the August-September 2025 release makes perfect sense. The cast and crew are promising that the wait will be worth it. Emma Myers, who plays Enid, told Digital Spy that this season will definitely live up to expectations. Honestly, I think this season is going to be even better. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait for fans to see it, she said. Of course, Jenna Ortega herself admitted she was a little nervous returning to the role after nearly 3 years. She shared on The Tonight Show that she worried about slipping back into Wednesday's dark, emotionless personality. But she explained that as soon as she put on Colleen Atwood's costume and makeup, everything clicked. I realized, okay, I know how to do this, Ortega said. There has been some disappointment among fans, though. Percy Hines-White, who played Xavier Thorpe, will not be returning for Season 2. His absence sparked speculation since Xavier was set up as Wednesday's potential love interest in Season 1. Ortega herself has commented on his departure, calling it strange and unfortunate. Still, Season 2 will introduce many new characters to make up for the changes. Jonah Lumley will guest star as Wednesday's grandmother, and Billie Piper will appear in a brand new role. Several others, including Thandie Newton as Dr. Fairborn and Frances O'Connor in a mystery role, have been added to the cast. Fans are still waiting to hear who will play Cousin Ititi. Surely someone will be brave enough to wear that giant mess of hair. Returning cast members include Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, Luis Guzman as Gomez, Emma Myers as Enid, Joyce Sunday as Bianca, and Isaac Ordonez as Pugsley. While Christina Ricci's return as Ms. Thornhill has not been officially confirmed, she has said in interviews that she would be open to reprising her role. Although her character was defeated at the end of Season 1, Ricci hinted that villains have a way of finding their way back. All in all, Season 2 promises to be darker, more mysterious, and packed with new faces alongside familiar ones. With Jenna Ortega not only starring but also producing, expectations are sky high. And when Wednesday finally returns in August 2025, fans can expect a twisted, creepy, and thrilling ride at Nevermore Academy. Jenna Ortega recently admitted, "I don't think I'm allowed to say too much." She added that the door is open for more surprises and explained how much fun it was to play such a dark and complex character. Ortega also mentioned that playing a villain is always exciting, which leaves fans curious about what comes next. Meanwhile, Gwendolyn Christie's Larissa Weems was seemingly defeated in Season 1, but her ending felt a little too short and abrupt. In a world like Wednesday, resurrections aren't impossible, so some fans are still holding on to hope. However, those wishing to see Christie return should prepare for disappointment. With Thandie Newton stepping into the role of the new Nevermore principal, there may not be much room for Christie's character, at least not as Larissa Weems. Still, Christie has teased that the character might not be completely gone. She told one outlet, "We haven't seen her put in the ground, have we? I don't think Larissa Weems would be the type to accept defeat so easily." It's also worth noting that Christie plays Lucifer in the Sandman series, and scheduling conflicts may have made her return even harder. Fingers crossed, though, because Christie was incredible as Weems. On the other hand, Dr. Kinbot is unlikely to return. Her character was brutally attacked in Season 1, and it seems she did not survive. That means her storyline is probably finished. As for Season 2, Netflix is keeping the plot tightly under wraps, almost as if Wednesday herself made the rules. Still, the showrunners revealed to Vanity Fair that the second season will lean even more into horror, while still keeping its signature dark humor. Jenna Ortega explained that the team took inspiration from the 1964 film adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death. She clarified, "That doesn't mean we're suddenly going to be the goriest show ever, kids watch this too. But Wednesday is already a little jump scare all on her own, so expect more of that." So far, Netflix has been dropping teaser trailers and first-look images, keeping fans hyped as we count down to release. And the big news is that Wednesday Season 2 will officially premiere on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. But, just like last time, the season will be split into 2 parts. The second half of the season will arrive on Wednesday, September 3, 2025. Excitement has only grown since Netflix confirmed that filming wrapped in Ireland late last year. They even shared a behind-the-scenes snap of Ortega with the caption announcing that production had finished. Showrunners Alfred Goff and Miles Miller also teased that they've planned storylines beyond Season 2. "When we sit down to write, we always look at multiple seasons," Miller explained. "Ideally, we plan 3 or 4 arcs for the characters. Things can evolve, but we already have a clear runway for what we want to do in the future." Of course, Wednesday wouldn't be the same without Jenna Ortega at the center. She recently admitted to Harper's Bazaar that stepping back into Wednesday's shoes hasn't been easy. "We're shooting the 2nd season right now. Just a couple weeks ago, I actually pulled a chunk of my hair out of the wig while filming a scene. I'm still figuring it out as I go. I never said I was perfect." Alongside Ortega, familiar characters will also return, including Emma Myers as Enid Sinclair and Joy Sunday as Bianca Barkley. There's still uncertainty about Hunter Doohan's return as Tyler, but fans are keeping an eye on casting updates. New faces will also bring fresh energy to Nevermore Academy. Billie Piper will join the cast as a mysterious new character named Sadora Capri. Fans also got a sneak peek of Doctor Who star Peter Capaldi, who will play Nevermore's new head of music. And in a huge surprise, Lady Gaga will make a cameo in Season 2. She'll play a legendary Nevermore teacher who crosses paths with Wednesday, bringing a mysterious and dramatic flair to the story. This guest role is set to appear in Part 2 of the season. Interestingly, Ortega had previously said she would love Gaga to join the show, so maybe she helped make it happen. With darker themes, shocking new characters, and special guest stars, Season 2 is shaping up to be even bigger and bolder than the first. Jenna Ortega once said in an interview with Variety, "I'm sure Netflix would have loved to bring Lady Gaga in." She went on to explain that if Gaga did join, it would probably be as a character who, like Mrs. Thornhill, played by Christina Ricci, shared a deep connection with Wednesday. Ortega added, "If Lady Gaga were to be part of this, it would have to be 2 monsters who understand each other." At a special Netflix event, fans also learned who Haley Joel Osment would be playing in Season 2. The actor will step into the role of a chilling new villain known as the Kansas City Scalper, one of America's most exclusive serial killers. It's not confirmed whether his storyline will continue beyond the season, but his presence already adds a much darker edge. One actor we won't be seeing back is Percy Hines-White, who played Xavier Thorpe. After facing serious allegations of misconduct, Percy confirmed his departure from the show. He shared a behind-the-scenes cast photo on his Instagram story, writing, "I had so much fun working on the show. I can't wait to watch it as a fan." The first opening clip for Season 2, released as part of Netflix's 2025 event, showed the characters honing their combat skills. This training will be important as they prepare to pursue the Kansas City Scalper and face the dangerous threats tied to him. The showrunners also confirmed that Season 2 will dive deeper into the Addams family's relationships. In an interview with TV Land, they explained, "We felt like we only scratched the surface with Morticia, Gomez, and Pugsley. The actors are so incredible in these roles, and their family dynamics are essential to the story." Wednesday's journey is about forging her own path outside of her family, but exploring that balance is important. Of course, relationships remain one of the most talked about aspects of the show. In Season 1, Wednesday and Enid started off rocky but eventually developed a deep bond. Fans still debate whether it was romantic or simply friendship. For those hoping Season 2 would turn it into romance, Emma Myers, who plays Enid, had other news. She told interviewers, "I think Wednesday needs a season of singleness. She just went through a lot, and if it were me, I'd take a break from dating." Meanwhile, rumors have been swirling that Netflix is developing an Uncle Fester spin-off, which would further expand the Addams Family universe. The masterminds behind the series, Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, have been working together since the early 1990s. They first met at USC and began selling scripts soon after, eventually landing big projects like Spider-Man 2, Charlie's Angels, and the long-running TV series Smallville. This week, they officially unveiled the 2nd season of Wednesday. After previewing the first 4 episodes, critics reported that Season 2 feels even bigger and bolder. Some budget challenges meant a few subplots from Season 1 were turned down, but this allowed the story to focus more heavily on Jenna Ortega, now 22, as Wednesday Addams. This season, Wednesday steps further into her role as both an outsider and an amateur detective at Nevermore Academy. Season 2 will also introduce new characters, including Nevermore's new principal, George St. Clair, and Grandmama Adams, played by Hester Aram. Fans will also see more screen time for Morticia, Gomez, Pugsley, Uncle Fester, and even a magician named Victor Romani. Behind the scenes, Goff and Miller explained how Wednesday was created. After wrapping their shows Into the Badlands and the Shannara Chronicles in 2018, they were searching for a smaller, character-driven story set in modern America. They realized that Wednesday Addams, with her sharp wit and unique worldview, would be the perfect lead for such a series. The Addams estate and MGM approved their pitch, which reimagined Wednesday not as a side character, but as the lead in a dark detective story. "She's not Nancy Drew Light," Goff explained. "She thinks she's the smartest person in the room, and she always believes she's the only one who can solve the mystery." In 2019, they pitched the idea everywhere. No studio wanted it, except Netflix. Still, it took time to finalize the deal with MGM. During the pandemic, MGM finally invested in a virtual writer's room where the first season was broken down and the scripts were written. They sent the project to Tim Burton, who had never worked on television before. Just 4 days later, he agreed to join as director. Originally, Burton wanted to direct every single episode, but he eventually signed on for the pilot and 3 more episodes. Once Burton was officially attached, Netflix gave the green light. Even then, there was a lot of behind-the-scenes uncertainty as streaming services faced internal struggles. But Burton's involvement gave Wednesday the credibility and style it needed to become a hit. The creators of Wednesday, Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, don't own the full rights to the Addams family. They only own the series itself, while Netflix manages the deals for merchandise and extra products. But for Season 2, Netflix gave the show a bigger budget and the showrunners felt confident enough to push things even further. Season 2 promises everything from Uncle Fester's hilarious one-liners to surprisingly heartfelt moments. In one scene, Fester tells a woman he's been awkwardly flirting with, "You are my favorite." Meanwhile, Wednesday delivers some of her most iconic lines yet. At one point, she declares, "I don't have FOMO. I have a fear of being included." She also takes shots at her werewolf roommate's t-shirt with the dry humor fans love, adding, "Nothing like a bad punchline to bury epic poetry." Some critics have pointed out that many 16-year-olds wouldn't actually talk like that. But the writers explain that Wednesday has always been unique. As Goff put it, "We're not writing for a regular 16-year-old girl. We're writing for Wednesday Addams." Both he and Miller say their own experiences as fathers of daughters between 18 and 25 helped them capture Wednesday's sharp voice and her complicated relationship with Morticia. The new season will explore even more tones and moods than before. One moment Wednesday is in a deeply emotional confrontation with her mother, and the next she's battling in an action-packed fight sequence. Gomez Addams also gets more screen time this season. Fans will even see him drunk in one episode, something that was teased after the massive fan reaction in Season 1 when his character nearly died in Episode 7. Behind the scenes, the team has paid extreme attention to detail. For example, when creating Thing, they didn't just use CGI. They auditioned multiple magicians, illusionists, and performers in Romania to find someone who could bring a natural, human quality to the character. Eventually, Victor Dorobantu was cast because of the way his fingers moved, precise, expressive, and full of life. Visual effects supervisor Tom Turnbull then spent 4 weeks with Victor, testing out how Thing would appear on screen. Netflix officially announced Wednesday Season 2 at its big Next on Netflix event in January 2023. By May, production was in full swing. The season is set to follow Wednesday as she returns to Nevermore Academy, where she faces off against a new serial killer with a disturbing obsession. The trailer reveals both returning and brand new faces. Alongside Wednesday, Enid, and the rest of the Nevermore crew, we'll also meet Jonah Lumley as Grandmama Adams. The season will feature a total of 8 episodes, split into 2 parts. Part 1 will drop on August 6, 2025, while Part 2 will follow on September 3, 2025. Lady Gaga also made a surprise appearance at Netflix's global fan event. She confirmed that she's joining season 2 as Rosalind Rootwood, a mysterious new Nevermore Academy teacher who appears in the second half of the season. Gaga even performed a mashup of her hit songs Just Dance, Bad Romance, and Bloody Mary, the same track that went viral in 2022 after fans edited it together with Wednesday's famous dance scene. The Addams Family remains as popular as ever. When Wednesday first premiered on Netflix in late 2022, it became one of the streamer's most watched shows in history within just a few weeks. Jenna Ortega, now 22, has become the latest actress to bring Wednesday Addams to life, following Christina Ricci's iconic 1990s portrayal. Her performance has been praised for adding a modern twist while still honoring the character's dark charm. Season 1 left fans with many questions. Will Tyler escape custody? Who sent Wednesday that threatening message? And with Principal Weems gone, who will lead Nevermore Academy now? In July 2025, just weeks before the Season 2 premiere, Jenna Ortega and Tim Burton confirmed that Wednesday has already been renewed for Season 3. Netflix made it official with a first-look poster featuring Wednesday staring into a crystal ball, with the number 3 floating inside. Showrunner Alfred Goff said, "Our goal for every season is to make it the best one yet. With Season 3, we want to dig even deeper into Wednesday's character and expand the world of Nevermore." His partner Miles Miller added, "Fans will see more members of the Addams family and learn some surprising family secrets in Season 3. Netflix also hinted at possible spin-offs. Chief Content Officer Bella Bajaria explained, "There's a lot to explore in the Addams Family universe, and the showrunners have already been teasing potential new series." In fact, Goff and Miller revealed back in 2022 that they had mapped out Wednesday's story across at least 4 seasons. They wanted the story to be flexible enough to evolve, but also clear enough that they knew where the characters were headed. Finally, on July 9, 2025, Netflix dropped the official trailer for Wednesday Season 2. It gave fans a chilling look at what's ahead, and confirmed that the Addams family is just getting started. The trailer, which you can watch above, begins with Wednesday and the entire Addams family returning to Nevermore Academy. "This is the first time you've willingly come back to school. How does it feel?" Morticia asks her daughter. Wednesday answers coldly, like returning to a crime scene. "I already know where the bodies are buried." In the next scene, we see Wednesday struggling with her new celebrity status at school. She reunites with her roommate and best friend, but things feel uncertain. It seems like her psychic abilities may have grown even stronger. She's having visions again, visions that could reveal deadly secrets. And Morticia might just hold the key to the story. At Netflix's global fan event, TIDM 2025, held on Saturday, May 23, the streamer revealed the first 6 minutes of Wednesday Season 2, Episode 1. This sneak peek came right after the brand new teaser trailer was released. But that wasn't all. Lady Gaga, who stars as a guest in Season 2, performed a stunning mashup of her songs Zombie Boy, Bloody Mary, and Abracadabra. She made her entrance rising straight out of a coffin, dressed as the Monster Queen. Fans also got their first teaser of Season 2 earlier on April 23, 2025. Alongside that teaser, Netflix unveiled the official Season 2 poster. The poster shows Wednesday crying black tears while a raven sits on her shoulder. The text on the poster reads, "The wait is over." Just before the official trailer dropped, Netflix released a behind-the-scenes featurette on May 20, 2025. This video gave fans a closer look at what's in store for Season 2. It included interviews with creators and showrunners Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, director Tim Burton, and both new and returning cast members. The featurette revealed one major detail: Season 2 will show us even more of the Addams family. "There really isn't a lot of deep Addams family lore out there," explained co-creator Miles Miller. "So we wanted to explore their history and dig deeper into who they are." Co-showrunner Alfred Goff added, "The scope has expanded, not just with the Addams family, but also with character arcs, the mystery, and the darker tones. Season 2 is bigger in every way." Hunter Dewin, who plays Tyler, said, "It feels like we turned everything up a notch. Season 2 has everything people loved about Season 1, but more intense." Emma Myers, who plays Enid, agreed, "We were able to push the mystery even further this time. It's exciting. Filming for Season 2 officially wrapped on December 4, 2024. Fans got their first behind-the-scenes look when Netflix released a photo of Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. In the picture, Jenna wore Wednesday's signature braided hairstyle, sharp bangs, a white-collared shirt, a long black dress, and black nail polish. She appeared to be standing in a graveyard, flanked by two grim, hooded figures holding lanterns. The image set the perfect eerie tone for the season. To go with the teaser trailer in April 2025, Netflix also released a set of 12 new photos from Season 2. These stills gave fans their first glimpse of new characters, including Steve Buscemi as Barry Doyle and Jonah Lumley as Grandma Addams. Another big update was that Season 2 would be released in 2 parts. Part 1 arrives on August 6, 2025, while Part 2 drops on September 20, 2025. Production for Season 2 began in Ireland in May 2024. This was a major change, since Season 1 was filmed in Romania. The move was due to logistical challenges, but the new location gave the team fresh opportunities for even bigger sets and scenery. When Wednesday's Season 1 first debuted on November 23, 2022, it became a massive success. The series broke multiple records, streaming over 6 billion minutes in its first 5 days alone. It became the second biggest week ever recorded by Nielsen, only behind Stranger Things Season 4. Because of this huge success, Netflix quickly announced a Season 2 renewal in January 2023. The renewal video featured clips from Season 1, reactions from fans around the world, and a new chilling voiceover from Wednesday herself. The show has been praised as a unique mix of fantasy, horror, comedy, and mystery, but at its core, it's really a coming-of-age story. Season 1 followed Wednesday's first year at Nevermore Academy. She had to learn to control her psychic powers, confront a deadly monster, and solve a supernatural mystery connected to her parents' past. At the same time, she was navigating complicated friendships, rivalries, and relationships. The finale of Season 1 left fans with shocking twists and plenty of unanswered questions. Now, Season 2 promises to go deeper and darker while expanding the Addams Family universe. Even the production team has hinted at which characters they want to highlight more. Many fans hope to see a bigger role for Uncle Fester, or even Pugsley, in future episodes. VFX producers have also teased their excitement about pushing the special effects even further. Cassie Moner, co-president of the visual effects team, said, "We want to go bigger and bolder this season. We're ready to bring even more supernatural energy to the show." And Jenna Ortega herself has shared ideas about Wednesday's character arc. She said she wants to see Wednesday grow, face even darker challenges, and explore new sides of her personality. So, Season 2 isn't just about mysteries and monsters, it's about Wednesday herself continuing to evolve. Back in November 2022, Jenna Ortega told Entertainment Tonight that she wanted Wednesday to become even darker in future seasons. "I kind of want her to dive deeper into the darker side of things and not just play the hero who saves the school," Ortega explained. "There are so many storylines about her stepping up as the savior, but for me, Wednesday's main drive is more competitive. When there's a monster or a threat, she's not thinking, 'I need to save everyone.' Instead, she's asking, 'Who's behind this? And how can I beat them?' I want her to continue down that path instead of becoming a typical hero." Later, during her appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon in March 2023, Ortega shared some fresh details about the progress of Season 2. "We're just getting the writers' room together," she said. "Everyone's brainstorming ideas, and the plan is to turn up the horror a bit more. We want to step away from the romantic storylines and let Wednesday really stand on her own, as someone who fights crime and handles her own battles." By June 2023, Ortega doubled down on this direction during a conversation with fellow actor Elle Fanning for Variety's Actors on Actors series. "We've decided to lean much more into the horror aspect of the show," Ortega said. "It's already got vampires, werewolves, and superpowers, so you don't want to take yourself too seriously. But we definitely want to push that horror tone further. Also, we're ditching the romantic love interests for Wednesday, which I think is really exciting." On January 15, 2024, while walking the red carpet at the Emmys, Ortega teased more about the upcoming season. She's not really a hero, and that's what makes her so unique, she explained. This season is going to have some really sharp one-liners, more action, and every episode will feel almost like a movie. Each one stands on its own in a way that's bigger and bolder than before. She expanded on this in a later interview with Vanity Fair's 2024 Hollywood issue. In Season 1, we had certain episodes that really stood out visually, like the iconic dance scene, which people still talk about. This time, every single episode has that kind of standout quality. The settings, the visuals, the action, all of it feels cinematic. I think fans are going to be blown away. In March 2024, Ortega told Collider that Season 2 will even feature a full episode inspired by classic slasher films. Visually, it's some of the most fun we've ever had, she revealed. There's one shot I can't get out of my head. It's Pugsley rolling his eyes back, with bandages around his head, and the whole scene felt like something out of Full Metal Jacket. We're making a lot of horror references, and honestly, it feels like we have more freedom this season. We're creating these bigger, more elaborate scare sequences, which is awesome. Netflix later revealed the title of the Season 2 premiere episode in a teaser video. Written by Miles Miller and directed by Tim Burton, the episode is called Here We Boo Again. Of course, one of the biggest headlines of Season 2 was the casting of Lady Gaga. On November 13, 2024, a source confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that Gaga would be appearing in a mystery role. She was spotted filming in Ireland, dressed for what appeared to be a gothic and supernatural storyline. Although the showrunners originally hoped to secure her for a larger role, Gaga ultimately appears in a cameo. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Gaga explained, "I don't want to give away too much, but being part of this show has been such a joy. I love Jenna, and we had an amazing time working together. But I want to keep my role a surprise." In addition to Gaga, Season 2 introduces several new cast members. Jenna Ortega herself revealed in her Vanity Fair cover story that these additions will expand the supernatural world of the show. Among the new faces are Jonah Lumley as Grandmama Addams, Barry Garrett played by Steve Buscemi, Pepper as Capri, Newton as Dr. Fairburn. The creators explained their casting choices, saying, "Our goal this season was to bring in fresh talent while also welcoming legendary actors we've admired for years. It was about finding the perfect balance between new energy and iconic presence." As for returning cast members, fans can expect to see Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia Addams, Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams, Hunter Dewin, Emma Myers, Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester, Jamie McShane, and Musa Mustafa. However, some notable faces are missing from Netflix's official cast photos. Naomi J. Ogawa and Percy Hines-White, who played Yoko and Xavier in Season 1, were not included in the Season 2 announcement. Their absence may be tied to behind-the-scenes controversies and storyline changes. It's also unclear whether Christina Ricci will return as Marilyn Thornhill, Wednesday's Season 1 villain. Her fate in the finale left things open-ended, and in March 2023, Ricci told Entertainment Tonight, "I don't think I'm allowed to say if I'm coming back. But the door is open, and I would love to return. She was such a fun character to play, and villains are always exciting." Behind the camera, creators Alfred Goff and Miles Miller have continued to lead the series with their longtime creative partner Tim Burton. The three have been working together since the early 90s, having co-created Smallville and collaborated on films like Spider-Man 2. Their partnership has carried through decades of hit projects, and now Wednesday is their latest success story. This week, Netflix is premiering Season 2 of their hit series Wednesday, executive produced by Tim Burton. The rollout is split into 2 parts. The first 4 episodes arrive on August 6th, and the final 4 episodes drop on September 3rd. And let me tell you, Season 2 is even more delicious than Season 1. For the debut season, the budget was tighter, so the showrunners had to trim back certain subplots and rely more heavily on young star Jenna Ortega, who was only 22 at the time, playing the title role of Wednesday Addams, the gothic daughter of the Addams family and an amateur supernatural detective during her first year at Nevermore Academy. This time around, with Netflix opening the purse strings, Season 2 feels bigger and bolder. We get new characters, like the eager-to-please new Nevermore principal and Wednesday's eccentric grandmama, while also giving more time to her parents Morticia and Gomez, plus her beloved Uncle Fester. The creative process behind Wednesday is just as interesting. Before the pandemic, the show's creators were living in Los Angeles. Every single day, they would meet from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., only stopping for lunch, writing nonstop. They said they worked literally 7 days a week for 20 years. They credit mentors like the late great Stephen Bochco and David Goldberg for shaping them in their early careers. The idea for Wednesday first came to them in 2018, right after they had wrapped up 5 years of running 2 other shows, one filmed in New Zealand, the other in Ireland. They were tired and wanted something smaller, something set in modern-day America. They started looking for iconic characters who could be reimagined, and they landed on Wednesday Addams. From there, everything clicked. They described their vision as a twisted take on Norman Rockwell's America. With the approval of the Addams estate and MGM, they created a series Bible featuring Wednesday as a detective, investigating dark mysteries at Nevermore. Of all the Addams family members, Wednesday always stood out. She's sharp, funny, and unforgettable. She's not like Nancy Drew, who solves mysteries because it's the right thing to do. No, Wednesday does it because she believes she's the smartest person in the room and the only one capable of figuring things out. In 2019, the creators pitched the series everywhere. But nobody wanted it. MGM held onto the rights but couldn't lock down a deal. For a moment, it looked like Wednesday might never happen. Then, during the pandemic, things shifted. MGM gave them money to build a virtual writer's room. The team broke out the entire first season, writing detailed scripts and outlines. Once they had the material, they sent it straight to Tim Burton. Just 4 days later, Burton signed on. He said it felt like the project had been written specifically for him. Originally, he wanted to direct every single episode, but in the end, he directed the pilot and 3 more. Once Burton was attached, everything changed. Suddenly, studios that had passed before were interested again. Netflix, this time, made the deal. The rest is history. For season 2, with a bigger budget, the showrunners felt confident enough to really go for broke. That means sharper one-liners, deeper emotional stakes, and even more of Wednesday's signature deadpan wit. For example, there's a scene where a romantic interest tells her, "Of all the women I've kissed, you're my favorite." And Wednesday responds coldly, "I don't have FOMO. I have a fear of being included." Moments like this highlight her unique perspective. She's horrified by popularity and resists fitting in at all costs. As one of the showrunners put it, most 16-year-old girls wouldn't say something like that. But Wednesday would. They also explained that while they aren't teenage girls themselves, their life experience, cultural awareness, and even the fact that between them they have 4 daughters in the target age group, helped shape Wednesday's unique voice. The writers leaned especially hard into the mother-daughter conflict between Wednesday and Morticia. That dynamic has been a blast for the actors, too. Catherine Zeta-Jones, who plays Morticia, said she's loved having the chance to do so many different kinds of scenes, from heavy emotional drama, to sword fighting, to comedic family chaos. And yes, Wednesday is even more front and center this season. In fact, she even gets drunk in one episode, which shows a totally different side of her. The creators also noticed how fans responded to certain moments in Season 1, like when Uncle Fester got stabbed in Episode 7. The audience was shocked and thought he might actually die. That reaction inspired them to take even bigger risks in Season 2. They also revealed some behind-the-scenes secrets, especially about Thing, the disembodied hand and fan-favorite character. When casting for Thing, they auditioned pianists, magicians, and even professional hand models. They needed fingers that were expressive but not too fat, thin, or long. Finally, they found Victor Dorobantu, who brought a natural movement and even a kind of humanity to the role. Visual effects supervisor Tom Doran then spent 4 weeks in what they called a meditation boot camp, studying every possible way Thing could move, communicate, and even express emotion without a face or voice. On set, Dorobantu often wore a full-body blue suit, with only his hand exposed. About 95% of the time, what you see on screen is his real hand performance, only a small portion was enhanced with CGI. The team even experimented with stop-motion animation for the first time in years, but ultimately found Dora Banta's live performance brought more heart to the character. As for the writer's room, they're busier than ever. They've already mapped out ideas for Season 3 and beyond, with Tim Burton still heavily invested in the direction of the show. According to the creators, when Burton commits to something, he's all in. So with Season 2 bigger, darker, and more ambitious than before, one thing is clear: Wednesday isn't just surviving the streaming wars, it's thriving.